They fined him $50,000. Not because he broke a law, but because he built a dam that protected his land. That day, neighbors laughed, the homeowners association cheered, and he stood in silence. But when he finally took the dam down, silence turned to screams, and the entire neighborhood learned the cost of their arrogance. The letter came stamped in red. $50,000 fine. It was the kind of punishment designed not to correct, but to humiliate. To the homeowners association, he was a stubborn old man who refused to follow their rules. To him, the dam he had built was not a violation. It was survival. They mocked him at meetings, calling it an eyesore. They claimed it spoiled their perfect view of rolling lawns and ornamental trees. Yet none of them knew the truth. None of them knew what storms had done to him before. His name was Daniel Hayes, a veteran, a man who had lived through sandstorms on the other side of the world, where every grain of dust carried the weight of survival. He had once stood guard over villages where water meant life or death. He had lost friends there, brothers in uniform who never came home. And when he returned, it was water again that haunted him. Floods had torn through his small town once, drowning memories and carving scars into his land. So he swore never again. Never again would he watch helplessly as nature took everything. That is why he built the dam, not out of pride but out of protection. Stones, timber, and his own calloused hands crafted it. It wasn't beautiful, but it was strong. It held back the floodwaters that no one else cared to acknowledge. But the homeowners association did not see strength. They saw defiance. They saw rules bent by a man they could not control. And so they fined him $50,000 for daring to stand against them. Neighbors whispered, some pitied him, but no one spoke aloud. Silence hung heavy at meetings while men in suits grinned, believing they had broken him. Daniel said nothing. His silence was not weakness. It was a promise. Day after day, he walked past the dam, running his hand across the rough stones, feeling the weight of history in each one. The HOA sent threats, lawyers, even inspectors who photographed every inch of his land. Still, he did not fight them with words. He waited. Then, one quiet morning, Daniel acted. He removed the stones, one by one, lowering the dam that had stood as his shield. The creek behind it groaned, then roared, freed after years of restraint. Water surged forward with unstoppable force, racing downhill toward the very homes that had mocked him. Lawns drowned first, then basements. The manicured perfection of the neighborhood twisted into chaos as the water swallowed fences, patios, and flower beds. The same people who had voted against him now stood at their windows in disbelief. The man they had fined had given them exactly what they demanded. No dam. Daniel did not gloat. He did not raise his voice. He stood at the edge of his property, arms folded, watching as nature reclaimed what arrogance had denied. Someone shouted for help. Another screamed that he should do something. He only answered with silence. And in that silence, a truth cut deeper than the floodwaters. You never know the strength of a wall until you demand it be torn down. Another thought rose within him, one forged from years of sacrifice. Respect is not earned by titles or rules, but by the quiet endurance of those who refuse to break. The HOA, once so powerful in their meetings, now stood powerless against the very water he had held back for them. Their rules had drowned with their pride. When the floodwaters finally receded, the neighborhood bore scars that money could not hide. Homes could be repaired, but reputations could not. People who had once laughed at him now avoided his gaze, ashamed of what their silence had cost. Daniel returned to his land, planting seeds where the dam had once stood. He knew the storms would come again, but he also knew the lesson had been written in water for all to see. In the end, he had not spoken a single angry word, yet his silence had spoken louder than any voice could. Because sometimes the strongest stand a man can take is to let the world feel what it once ignored. Silent strength is often misunderstood until the moment it reveals its true power. Daniel's story reminds us that rules without wisdom can destroy the very people they claim to protect. What do you think? Was he wrong to take the dam down? Or was he simply giving them what they demanded? Share your thoughts in the comments, let us know where you're watching from, and subscribe for more stories that honor resilience, sacrifice, and the quiet strength of those who refuse to break.